Hi everyone, welcome back. So now that we understand the basic structure of how MCP works, what is MCP server, what is MCP client, it's time for us to do all the setup on both the sides, on the client side as well as on the server side. Okay, so here client is going to be Claude and we will be connecting it with Salesforce. Salesforce will act as a server or Salesforce will expose their services on the MCP server. Okay, so Salesforce has provided us everything on the Salesforce side to make their service as a server. All we need to go do is to go to setup and just type MCP server and you will get multiple options. Inside integrations you will click on MCP servers. Okay, so we'll click on it. Salesforce is relatively bit slow today on my system. Here you will get multiple options. One is external server, which we'll be talking about later, but the other one is Salesforce server. That's where we will be working. So we will come here. Okay, and you can also add your custom MCP server and all those things we will be talking about later. Here today we will be seeing what Salesforce has already provided, what are different servers and what are the tools inside them. So Salesforce has multiple services available. What they have done, they have created multiple servers and categorized their services as tools on each of their server. So S object all is one server which will have all the services or all the tools associated with operations on S object. Similarly, we have data cloud queries where you will have all the queries related to data cloud as the tools. So there are multiple servers available and inside those servers we will have tools and we will have prompts and we will talk about them, what are tools, what are prompts. But if you see server status is inactive, so first step is to activate those server whichever we want to expose as a MCP server. Okay, so we'll click on it and we'll see what are the different tools and prompt available inside this server. So if you see here, we'll have an option to activate it, and that is the first step we need to do is to activate it, and we'll have to use this server URL maybe in the second half when we will be doing setup on the Claude side. Okay, but before moving towards activating and all those things, it is very important that you understand what are tools and what are the prompts. Okay, so let's first talk about tools. An MCP tool is a named callable function exposed by an MCP server that an API can invoke to take an action or to retrieve some data from a real system. So all these tools are nothing but a callable functions which will be doing something. Like this one is related to get related records, so this will get the related records. One is query records, which will query the record. So all these are nothing but the functions. AI tools can call these functions to do some real things in the Salesforce org. That's the tool. Every tool, like if I click on this, every tool will have three things. One, a name, which is the name by which AI tool will identify it. Then there will be a description in plain English. This description is something which AI reads to decide when to use this particular tool. And then third thing is going to be the input schema, or we can say a parameter schema. It defines exactly what input this particular tool requires. Okay, and when AI calls a tool, something real happens in the Salesforce org. A record gets created or a query runs or a record gets updated, right? A real thing will happen and action will be performed. Okay, so in a way, tools are the hands of MCP architecture. Without tools, AI cannot act. Tools will be doing the real things. And then we have prompts. If you see, there are two prompts already available. One is create executive briefing for account review meeting. Other one is revenue reconciliation analysis. Okay, so let us understand what are prompts. An MCP prompt is a reusable pre-written instruction template is stored on the MCP server. So these are nothing but the instruction template. Okay, they tell AI exactly how to structure the response for a specific scenario. Unlike tools which fetches the data or perform some action, prompts do not fetch the data or perform action. A prompt just shapes the output it takes as an input. So you will provide input to these prompts and they will shape the data, shape the output of it. They will not perform any action. It just will put a structure on your response, or whatever input you will provide to these prompts, they will put a structure on it. Okay, so they will not do anything real in the Salesforce, or it just shapes the data, or it just shapes how AI think about the input. Prompts and tools work together. They are not like one for the other. They do not work in place of each other. They work together. Okay, you can be running multiple prompts and you get the data from it, and then you pass that data. You can run tools, get the data from it, and then you can put that data in the prompt to shape the output of it, and that will work perfectly fine. Okay, so that's how we will be using prompt. For now, we will be understanding tools and we'll see the practical demo of tools, but we will also be creating couple of custom prompts throughout this module, and you will see how these tools and prompts works together. Okay. One other important thing is, if you see here, for each tool there are a couple of tags available. Okay, so these are nothing but the tags: read only, open world, idempotent. These are nothing but the tags. These tags describes the behavior of each tool. Okay, they're written for AI so that LLM model knows how safely it can use each tool without asking for confirmation. Like read only. Read only means this tool can only fetch the data. Whereas idempotent means you can call this tool 10 times with the same input and the result is always going to be same and nothing changes in the system. For example, a SOQL query. SOQL query is idempotent. You run the SOQL query, you will get the same output. Okay, so and it will not change anything inside the system, like it will not perform any DML in the data returned by the SOQL query. We also have open world. Open world means that this tool can return partial results. Like AI system should not assume that what it got back from this particular tool is the complete picture. For example, a SOQL query returns only what you ask for. So there might be some more fields, there might be some more records, there might be some more related data that AI did not ask for. But do not assume that this is the complete picture. So these are the tags just to help AI on understanding the behavior of each tool. All right, enough of the theory. So what we are going to do, we are going to activate this particular MCP server as object all, and that's it. You have exposed this particular server. Now what we need to do, we need to create the external client app for the client. So let's go to external client manager, external client app manager, and try to create a new external client app. Let's call it Claude web. I'm going to put my email ID here, so, and let's leave everything as it is. Save it. All right, and then we will go to settings. We'll go down. We'll have to enable the OAuth. So let's go up, click on edit and enable OAuth, and then there will be a callback URL you need to provide. So maybe just search it on the web. I will also put the link, put the URL on the notes. So we can say Claude callback URL, and you will get it from web easily. Same callback URL will be used everywhere. Okay, so just copy it put it here. From the scopes, let us select the refresh token, and there will be one scope related to Headless 360. Yes, access Salesforce hosted MCP server. So we need to provide that in order for them to be able to access it. Also enable the JW, maybe just leave it for now as it is. Okay, and maybe for the security also click on issue JSON web token, because it works on the JSON token, though we need not to add any JSON token right now, but we will just do it and we'll save it. All right, pretty much it. You will get the consumer key and consumer secret. So let's just get it from here. We'll copy it, we'll put it here, and we're going to save it. All right, that's pretty much. We will also go to OAuth OpenID Connect settings, and we need to make sure that we have this turned on, require proof key for PKC extension for supported authorization flow, because this works on that. So we just need to just double check if it is not. Even if you uncheck it, you will get a prompt to check it on when you try to make the connection. So that's pretty much. We need this consumer key and consumer secret, and we'll go to Claude. In the Claude there'll be multiple options, and you can just take the free version of it. It's not like you need to pay or anything. Come to Claude, and then there will be an option to click to customize. Just click on there. There will be all the connectors listed here. Okay, so what we need to do, we need to add a custom connector, because we do not have any connector available yet from the Salesforce side. So that's how we are going to add it. Let's name it Salesforce dev org, and it will ask for remote MCP server URL. So for that you will again go back to your MCP server, the server which you have activated recently, the one as object all. You need to go there and copy the URL from there. We'll just wait. Okay, so this is the active one. We'll go there. Anytime I try to load anything related to MCP server, it's just really slow and it's very irritating, but then can't do anything. We'll have to copy it and then paste it here, and then we already have the consumer key. Paste it, and then the consumer secret, we'll add it. Let's save this, and then you will have your Salesforce dev org connected with it. We'll just wait for it. So it will ask you to connect again. Here you will be providing username and password for the user. So this is the user by which I am going to authenticate it. It will check my profile and all those things. So if I perform any DML, it will check if my profile has permission to do that DML or not, and if I have FLS for that field or not when I try to get that via query. All right. So if you go again to Salesforce DevOrg, here you will be able to see all the tools available, right? There are a couple of read-only tools which will just give you the data. There are write and delete tools which will perform some operations on the Salesforce org. So here you can decide whether you want to provide permission, whether that particular tool, whenever you try to access that tool, you need to provide approval every time a cloud asks you to fetch the data via that tool. So everything needs permission, but from here you can just check them, and then you will be able to give them different permissions available. One is always allow, then one is need. Maybe if you want to block the deletion, you can just block the delete part or block the update part. Depending on how you want to use it, you will have the option to do that. Okay, so that is the part by which you can create all these things. Now if you go to projects, you can create a new project here. Let me create a new project for you, and let's call it Salesforce Dev Org. Okay, and maybe you can provide the description. Okay, so I'll not be able to show the demo, and that is not the intention of today's video. I'm also using the free version, and I'm also out of messages, but that's okay. I am not intended to, or I'm not trying to do any demo here in this video. These are the setup related things we needed to do today for us to be able to do all the setup on the Salesforce side and also on the Claude side, and connect Salesforce and Claude together. In next video we'll be going to do some demo. We'll try to fetch something, we'll try to do a query, we'll try to do DMLs, and we'll try to see how it actually works and how the real things happens. Okay, so what we are doing so far is whatever Salesforce has already provided, and once we are done with this part, we will be also trying to create new MCP servers. So for that we will create our custom Apex classes, we will create custom tools, and then we will also create prompts. So that is also going to be a very interesting part. But in next video, let's try to see a demo on how it actually works, how with the help of Claude you'll be able to do and perform operations on the Salesforce side and get these things running. So I'll meet you there. Thanks everyone.